So a couple weeks ago, the Oscars happened, the Academy Awards, and they kind of left me scratching my head a bit. You see, the film First Man, which had amazing sound design, didn't win in any of the sound categories. But a film like Bohemian Rhapsody, which was a movie about Queen that just played Queen songs, somehow won for sound mixing and sound editing. Still can't figure that one out. But regardless of how you felt about the Oscars, they were inspiring for me. They made me want to get out there and shoot more films. And if you're like me, you have big aspirations to shoot your own feature film and more documentaries, but that's a daunting task. I think a lot of us begin writing off that dream completely because it seems so overwhelming. We see these giant films at the Oscars and we think, where do I begin? And it just happens that one of my good friends, Sam Finley, is in town right now. And Sam is amazing. He's shot his own feature film, he's shot dozens of documentaries, and he does it in that really cool, moody vibe. You know, just check some of his work right now. So I thought we'd meet up with him and chat a bit about how to shoot a movie, where to start in your career. Let's do it. SJ told me he's in a red Mazda. I think I see it there. SJ, what's up, buddy? How you doing?
Beautiful car.
Yeah, look at this beautiful Canadian winters. How's it going, man?
It's good.
It's been a little while.
Yeah, it's been like a year.
A year, really?
Should we go for a coffee or something, man?
I have my first official caffeine headache, so.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think I need caffeine.
Okay.
Let's go get some. Yeah.
Let's go. It's good.
Yeah.
It's a little bit chunky, but that's what I like. You know, there's like good ingredients in there.
The description you want for every muffin, chunky. Ah! What'd you think of the coffee?
It was just okay.
Yeah, it was mediocre at best. So Sam, what have you been working on lately?
I'm just finishing a cut of a boxing documentary about women boxers in Uganda, in pretty much the worst slum in Kampala.
How'd you find out that story?
I had some friends that had seen a news story about this woman who's like the first Ugandan women boxer.
Yep.
And so I was there, and so I paid a fixer to like help me into the community and find her. Went to the gym and she was really friendly. I was like, can we try shooting some stuff? So we did some tests and it just kind of went from there.
Amazing. So you found a news story and that's how you found her.
Yeah.
So that's actually a really good piece of advice. For me, a lot of the stories that I've found, I've just reached out to journalists in the countries and asked them, you know, what are some stories that are going on? What's something that hasn't been told yet? And so it sounds like you did the same thing. If you want to find a story in a foreign country, just start reaching out. One thing I've done to find some stories in some of the countries I've worked in is I've gone and just found really beautiful photos, and I'll go find the photojournalist's name and then I'll research them, and you end up finding their like WhatsApp number online, and I've just reached out to them, and it's amazing the relationships you can build just over online.
Exactly, and those guys can give you so many tips on the country and getting in. They may even have relationships with people on the ground that can help you, who can either suggest stories or help you figure out what's dangerous, where you can go, how to navigate stuff.
All stuff that's important so you can focus on, so you can actually focus on shooting your film. Jeez,
Oh,
I mean, it's actually really icy everywhere. Hey, look at this, there's a camera right here. We should talk in front of it. I just love in the YouTube world, there's cameras everywhere. You've shot feature films, you've shot TV series. Are your ears cold?
Yep.
I don't know what to do for them. I'll talk to you this way. You've shot doc series, feature films, you've shot TV series. What's one piece of advice for people who are trying to create their own film right now?
Yeah, I think that two sort of sides of the same coin are use your unfair advantage and shoot what you know. Both of those are just relationships. So like, who have you got relationships with? So your unfair advantage is like, where are you connected? Do you have money, resources? Do you have relationships? Do you know somebody who lives in Greenland? That kind of thing. And shoot what you know. If you know sports, shoot sports. If you know how to draw, shoot a doc about a guy who knows how to draw.
But so what's around you, what you know?
Great.
So SJ, filming in foreign countries, what's some advice you have for that?
So what we came up with was the 3 P's.
Yeah.
Positivity, people skills, and plan ahead.
Why do you need people skills?
Well, whenever you're in a foreign country, like it helps if people like you.
Yep.
I find. And so trying to get things done, if you're being a dick, people won't want to help you.
No.
But I find that I have to turn on my positivity, my friendliness, smile a lot. I have to crank out about extra 25% than I would in Canada.
Sometimes even the border guards being nice to them.
Especially the border guards, yeah.
Then you
Customs, those guys helps a lot. If you're just friendly, if you engage with people, smile, if you tell a joke, it goes a long way.
Yeah, you're actually right. I just brought a drone into a country that was in civil war and I wasn't supposed to, but I arrived there. I wasn't just gonna throw out my drone at the border and was able to talk nicely to the border guard.
Wow, mine got held up in Uganda.
Oh, really?
It spent 6 weeks in the lockup at the
Oh, but they gave it
airport.
back.
They gave it back.
That's great. That was very nice of them. So Sam, what is a fixer? We keep talking about that. I want people to know that.
A fixer is somebody on the ground that is there to take care of you, drive you around, organize your hotels, and help you to get access to where you need to go.
Yeah.
And hopefully someone that can speak both English and the native language of wherever you are.
That is key. The fixer makes or breaks your film. It's good to know someone who, it's good to have a really brave fixer, I find. Someone who doesn't mind breaking the rules sometimes. Big shout out to Raphael, my last fixer from Rescate. What about for people who are just starting out? What's one great piece of advice you've been given?
Yeah, I think the most important thing is to find friends to work with and that you can kind of come up with together. One piece of advice I got at Masters in Motion a few years ago was to find people who are sort of within a rung or two of you on the ladder, whether they're a little bit better or maybe a little bit worse, but close enough to collaborate with. Sometimes you'll email a great director in New York and want to have a coffee with them and stuff, and it's just like, you're not even really close to their world.
Yeah, they're 20 years long, or they've shot like 10 films. And
yeah, but I mean, I would reach out to people who are maybe a little bit better than you or have a little bit more experience than you. You can learn a lot from those people, and just to get encouragement from them, learn about their mistakes, it's really important.
It's so true. I find like you reached out to me and I feel like we're both kind of in the same place in our careers, and it's great because we can look at each other and go, oh, this makes sense to collaborate. We're both in the same area. I think it's always good to sometimes collaborate with people, maybe like you said, 1 or 2 rungs ahead, just so that they're pushing you, but you're not also holding them back. So I think that's great advice. So find people who are at a similar stage, maybe a bit better, because if you go try to reach out to the famous Hollywood director, they're so busy and they're so inundated in emails. They're gonna want someone who's closer to where they are so that they can help them. But you know, it's still worth reaching out. You never know.
You never know. Just be willing to do anything. Do whatever it takes.
So I don't want to walk anymore because there's just ice under our feet and it's really difficult.
It's a bit dangerous.
Yeah, to film. Well, Sam, I got it right finally.
Yes.
Let's head back across this treacherous ice field.
I'll do it, and then I'll see you again next January or next winter.
Yeah, exactly. I'll put a link to Sam's work, and they can contact you through that, through your Vimeo.
Yeah, if they have any questions, I'm happy to answer questions through Vimeo or Instagram.
So, Joby, there we go. Glad to be back in the warmth. You know, meeting with Sam today reminded me that we sometimes overcomplicate the idea of pursuing our passions or creating the films that we want to do. You see, Sam didn't have this big epiphany moment, or someone didn't walk up to him and said, "You're a filmmaker." No, he was just in these countries or saw a news article on TV and decided, hey, I should pursue that. Maybe see if there's a film idea there. That's what his boxing documentary was about. That's what his Philippines feature film. That's how he found these stories, was just talking to the people who he met along the way. So for you, your town, your city, maybe the travels that you're going on, there are stories there for you to tell. You don't have to be a Hollywood director to create your next film. And that's the thing, you know, comparing yourself like I was at the beginning to these Hollywood directors just leads to pride or depression. And usually for me, it leads to depression. But what you can do is if you're ever comparing yourself, stop and just ask, why am I doing this? Am I letting myself get depressed, or am I allowing this to motivate myself to say, hey, I want to do something amazing too? So stop comparing yourself to the other directors or other filmmakers out there or other YouTubers, and grab your camera and find the story around you. Grab your camera, find your friends, just like Sam was saying in the video, and start creating. Everyone has an advantage, and you have stories around you in your town, in your city, maybe even on the travels you're going on. Heck, if you see a news article you like, you could be the next one to tell that story. Anyway, so I hope that helped. Remember, every dream starts with the first step, and everyone has had to take the first step to get to their dream. So what's the first step that you're taking? Anyways, I'll see you on the next one.